As the 19th century progressed, communities adapted to the new technologies of distribution and transportation. A pre-war economy that had barely risen above a subsistence level began to take on characteristics of profit and loss. It all added to Niagara's post-war growth. Entrepreneurs in shipping and railroads were about to make vast fortunes. Industry, agriculture, and tourism would all benefit from each other's success. And later, Niagara's strong military history would once again be a foundation for its economy. The Niagara Harbour and Dock Company, incorporated in 1831, would become the largest shipbuilding facility in Upper Canada. From 1833 to 1850, it built over 15 steam vessels, 20 schooners, 18 barges, and at least 3 naval vessels. In a very short time, it created an industrial boom. Niagara-on-the-Lake's dock area had 2 hotels, a lumber mill, an axe factory, a soda pop factory, a soap and candle factory, a barrel making factory, a basket factory, a railroad car factory, a lime kiln, brickyard, and an apple evaporator. Only one building remains, the Dock Company Warehouse. Today it's used as a clubhouse for the Niagara Sailing Club. But the prosperity wouldn't last. By 1854, railroad baron Samuel Zimmerman had extended his rail line all the way to the Niagara docks. But when he was killed in an accident, a railroad accident, his empire died with him. It was left to other entrepreneurs to expand the rail network in Niagara. The Erie and Ontario Railway did just that, with one very special conductor on board. In the 1860s, Paddy Miles was such a popular conductor that his train would become affectionately known as the Paddy Miles Express. By the end of the century, local electric trains would link Niagara with St. Catharines, Queenston, Buffalo, and Niagara Falls. In 1864, only 1 train trip per day ran from Buffalo to Niagara-on-the-Lake. It took 95 years, but in 1959, the Michigan Central Railway ran 6 trains per day. Steamships were also arriving daily from Toronto. They connected with the Paddy Miles Express, bringing tourists to Niagara and taking away freight. The Niagara Navigation Company would introduce a fleet of legendary steamboats, the Chippewa, the Corona, the Shikora, and the most famous of them all, the SS Cayuga. For half a century, the Cayuga would make successful runs between Toronto and Niagara. From her maiden voyage in 1906 to her last crossing in 1957, she carried more than 15 million passengers. That included thousands of soldiers, countless tons of Niagara fruit and vegetables, and vehicles and cargo to points north, east, and west across Lake Ontario. The mass transportation of fruit gave rise to the Niagara Fruit Growing Association in the mid-1800s. That was the beginning of Niagara's great canning industry. In its heyday, Niagara was producing 60,000 tons of produce per year. From the late 19th century into the early 20th century, the shipping and railway lines helped make Niagara a vacation destination. Wealthy visitors arrived daily during the summer season to stay at hotels like the fabulous Queen's Royal. But the economy was soon to change. Once again, at the turn of the 20th century, Niagara had to adapt. The automobile signaled yet another era. Trains and ships would eventually be replaced by cars. Tourists would find new destinations. And by the early 1960s, Niagara's economic future was bleak. It did have some help for a while. The award-winning C&C Yachts operated their factory here for 30 years. They were Canada's largest builders of sailboats before being destroyed by fire in 1994. But mostly, Niagara was a sleepy, small town. standing in the wings of its neighbours, St. Catharines, Hamilton, and Toronto. However, Niagara would not be in the wings for long. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, she was about to take centre stage by storm.